To grace us in this award ceremony, we have an esteemed dignitary among us. And before I call on our special chief guest for the award keynote address and to do the lamp lighting for the award ceremony and to start with the award ceremony keynote address, I would like to say a few words about our esteemed and honorable chief guest for the award ceremony. Shri Mahesh Thakkar ji, Director General of Finance Industry Development Council. Sir has been consistently playing a vital role in protecting the interests of the financial services sector over the years and is keen on providing a platform for networking and consensus building across various sectors in the Indian industry. He is an Associate Chartered Accountant from the prestigious Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Mr. Thakkar graduated in commerce as well as law. He has been associated with many more prominent organizations and at the helm of affairs as the Executive Director for the Association of Leasing and Financial Services Companies and the Chairman of Genesis Equipment Private Limited. He is also one of the most esteemed members of the Managing Committee at the IMC Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Chairman of the NBFC Committee and co-chairman of the Banking and Finance Committee, Entertainment, Media and Sports Committee as well. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to welcome our honorable chief guest, Mr. Mahesh Thakkar, Director General from Finance Industry Development Council. Please come here, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, friends. We begin with a good note and happy Ganesh Chaturthi to all of you, beginning the great festivities from tomorrow. I know you have been here from last 2 days and been doing a lot of good sessions. I've seen that and I've seen all the agenda. And obviously the organizers will pass on the important notes to me. I'll of course not be, giving a big lecture. In any case, 10 minutes have been allotted, so I'll try to do justice within that time. Friends, we represent the Association of all NBFCs, Finance Industry Development Council, in existence since more than 20 years. FIDC is Association of all the lending NBFCs. While you FinTech have 3 associations, lending NBFCs have only 1 association, FIDC. And all NBFCs are members here, so I'm not going into details. But I saw the last panel which Devashankar Tripathi conducted very well, moderated. They all talked about the coordination between FinTech and NBFC, and that's the most important thing. When I was interacting with the exhibitors and presenters outside, I also talked how, you FinTech companies have enabled banks and NBFCs, BFSI sector particularly, to grow in great size and stature during COVID and after COVID. In fact, everybody thought that we'd be down, but we are going at 20-30% because of the technologies availability, our outreach being increased. So I'm not going into details how I can, collaborate with each other because it's all known to you. And each one of you are in touch with our banks and NBFCs for various purposes and enabling us to make it very easy in all our processes, be it the sourcing or the technology or the recovery or the appraisals. At FIDC, what we believe is working together is of course more important, but taking regulators also together. We have seen in last few months, RBI particularly, because people would like me to speak, I've been touch regularly with regulators, so what is there in mind? RBI is very active not only in the regulation side but also in supervision and inspection side also. They have got many people like you and me, FinTech people, and working for the Reserve Bank, getting the inspections uploaded by us or the on-site or off-site inspections. What are the errors, omissions? They find out within, as fast as possible, and they try to see that they give us the notice how we can rectify that, and if it is of a general nature, they will bring the circulars. So previously, inspections and supervisions were being taken lightly, but that's no more so. I advise all the members. We have seen half a dozen examples in last 6 months, with banks, NBFCs, some of them are present, so let's not name them. But the errors were genuine, and they have given time to rectify, and most of the people have fallen in line, and the things are in fine shape. But the main message is everybody will have to follow the line, and the business can be done in very well regulated manner. Even the FinTech companies which are doing through NBFCs or banks have to see that they fall in line, because today RBI is not very sure how to regulate the FinTech which are not part of the financial system. If you're not registered as the RBI registered NBFC, so they're bringing in different regulations either for account aggregators or P2P or the FinTech. But Surely within few months it will streamline and bring in par with all the financial sector players. As RBI called us in January when these all things happened about the two finance NBFCs and three banks, including a small bank, how NBFCs would be able to cater to this. We brought out the two documents, vision document and the code of conduct, which copy of course I passed on to the organizers here, and worked out various code of conduct for members to other two, and most of them are falling in line. It has the KYC and ML guidelines, observations. What is important is when the inspection happens on site, I'm talking of, observations and suggestions, the queries by RBI when they put the first preliminary report is not taken seriously or not replied immediately. Don't do all that. Do immediately and take each and every observation. A junior officer might have interpreted in a different manner. See, we are at Bombay, the RBI head office is here, so those officers understand, but at various branches perhaps a different interpretation may be there. But if you put it properly or take the guidance of the governance committees and other things, I'll come back to that, you can reply it very well, but don't take it lightly. Keep regulator informed about all the developments which are happening, board level governance committees, etc. And fair practices must be there, which is there all things which I'm talking about on the website. And I'll not talk about the technological innovations which you people are doing and how it helps all of us, banks and NBFCs, on digital onboarding, KYC, data analytics, credit scoring, blockchain technology, your distributed ledger technology, your GST analysis, bank statement analysis, or compliance and regulatory reporting, board level management, governance is important, and underwriting models in consumer lending. These are all the issues which, we can talk in a panel discussion next time perhaps, but I'm just only touching the points. We at FIDC have a very powerful board of directors, governing council, and the expert committees like representation committee, legal committee, CFO committee, through which you work, and our representations are seen in great details. We are considered as the association which is very aggressive in making representation, but never a confrontational view. We are always consultative approach, proactive approach, and in line with the RBI. Whenever a guideline comes for a few days or few months, big NBFCs, the small NBFCs particularly may find, it's tough to follow, it will affect our business. But if you go into details, you'll find these are the micro concerns. But if the macro concerns are seen, we can fall in line with that. And by chance, if it's, little more derogatory than what we think, we have always gone to RBI, and RBI has rectified those things. I can give more than 3-4 examples last 2 years, whereby RBI has withdrawn such regulations. We have, I said, expert committees, we have a data, the newsletter, the website, everything which is there on the presentations. What is important is, I'm also not going into benefits of membership because that's not the subject. I don't know whether Darshan had asked whether they should not come. We have got the information that fintech companies already filed SRO, and they got one association as the SRO. People were asking me outside also, is FIDC filing the application for SRO? We have filed it yesterday. And hopefully we should get the 5th September being an auspicious day. We have done it. So Darshan was asking me also, what are the news? But I like it to keep it confidential for the time because we have not gone to media. RBI will come out with their observations, suggestions, etc. But most of the guidelines prescribed by RBI we are following that, or if it's not that, we have committed that within the time prescribed by the RBI, we will follow that. We have given the governance structure. We have told that 1/3 of the directors will be independent always. We have operational plans, membership agreement, grievance policy, code of conduct, and 7 expert committees which are prescribing, which will be governing the entire self-regulatory mechanism, which is SRO committee, representation and capacity building committee, auto finance committee, MSME committee, gold loan committee, housing finance committee, and the last is the base layer committee, which is the maximum numbers. If you have 9,000 NBFCs, more than 8,000 are base layer NBFCs to which we have to cater. And how we do it, there are various CICs also and other categories, So only sector which we kept out right now, which is not RBI registered, and the microfinance, because they have a different association for that purpose, which is Southern and MFIN. And we have a standardized data format which RBI has prescribed. These are all the suggestions given by RBI in the omnibus guidelines, which are prescribed, and a 620-page document has been submitted to Reserve Bank of India yesterday. And let's see after 1 month when they come back with the suggestions, we should be able to get let's keep our fingers crossed and see that The sorrow for NBFC sector, first time in the history of the country, comes through. And in many countries also, it's never there. What the way forward, I'll just conclude because there is no point. Everybody is waiting for the awards, because I don't want to come in the way of you and the awards. Governance systems and compliance, absolutely most important things, and financial prudence, and there is no shortcut to it. Just don't try to find out. And in any case, if you are using fintech, please, RBI is also using the fintech and also all the technology which you and I have got. There may be one not, but then it's very difficult, easy to catch on. And why do it? Everything, the huge country of those people, we discussed the growth in the earlier panel. Everybody has the great business to get ahead. And in 2-3 years' time, everybody said we are doubling our growth. So why bother about and why flout the regulations and do the wrong things? We need to create awareness campaign about the good work which you are doing, like banks, coordination with various investors, lenders, bankers, etc. And education and training programs like this help a big deal. And awards like this inspire and motivate to us the right things, right processes, and reach the target which are prescribed by the different instruments which we use. At FIDC, I have always told the Reserve Bank of India, the regulators, Ministry of Finance, etc., just enable, enrich and empower us. And we know our business very well and we will do our business to reach the goal of Government of India to Viksit Bharat of 2047. We were just 5 to 6% 5 years back of the gross domestic capital formation. Today we are 18%. It's a great thing. We're just 1/5 of the entire financial market in the country. So always the challenges have brought the opportunities for us. We have seen in the COVID also. None of the NBFCs has failed because of the COVID, okay? And we have grown larger. So let's work together, see that how we get to collaborate with each other. And anytime, any issue pertaining to any NBFC, you want to make presentation to the NBFC sector, you can come through Synex or directly to FIDC on our website, which I've given the details, fidcindia.org.in. Come to us and we will enable you to present your services and products to the NBFC sector. We can work together and try to get the products customized for that particular NBFC. You must be doing to more than half a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen NBFCs. Each one of you, I met them in the exhibition. Doing great jobs. Continue that. Thank you and best wishes. And of course, 2 things before that. Thanks to the organizers, Synex. The earlier panel talked about the co-lending. We had a meeting with the Department of Financial Services on 16th May in Delhi. And that time one of the issue was raised was co-lending. So State Bank of India, in consultation with FIDC, formed a committee on co-lending with 4 bankers and 4 NBFCs. And the 4 meetings of that has already been done and the report is ready. Within less than 15 days, you will find the report of the State Bank-led committee, initiated by Department of Financial Services. Reported, we are taking care of all the anomalies or situations which matter, the regulatory or the technology or the operational difficulties. And those suggestions will be forwarded to the Government of India, Reserve Bank of India, to all the bankers and all NBFCs to follow as far as possible. Second thing, the corollary to that meeting is happening. Department of Financial Service after 16th May, a new secretary has come. So that's happening on Monday, that is 9th September, day after tomorrow. And where they're taking up the new issues concerning the fintech as well as the SRO related issues. So we are in touch with the regulators day in and day out, and the atmosphere which is happening there in the country, it's great for the financial sector. Wish you all the best to all the people, winners, non-winners, every participant is important. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maheshji, for that wonderful way to begin the auspicious award ceremony. And we are, as I said, we are deeply honored to have you here. And now I would like to call on stage Ms. Dr. Devshankar Tripathi, Executive Vice Chairman from Aadhar Housing Finance Limited. Sir, if you could kindly do the honors of felicitating our chief guest, Shri Mahesh Thakkarji. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Shri Mahesh Thakkar, Director General from Finance Industry Development Council, delivering the opening and the chief guest address for the 6th Annual India NBFC Award Ceremony.